Hey, creators! It's time to craft again, and I'm so glad that you joined us. Hey, as you're just hopping in, say hi, tell me where you're from. So I have a really cool project to work with you, work on today with you. And so this project you can put in one of those tiered trays, or you can give it away as a gift. And then there's a secret place to not secret, but there's a cool little place to put maybe a gift card. Okay, so first I'm going to show you the project. And then I'm going to go over the list of supplies that you're going to need. And then I'm going to do a step-by-step tutorial. Okay, so this is our project. This is our faux whipped cream, whipped topping mug. How cute is that? How cute is that? Okay, and here's the really cool part. If you lift this up, dun, da, da, it's just a cup, right? It's just sitting right on top. And you could put a gift card inside there. Wouldn't that be cool? Okay, so I'm going to go over the list of supplies, like I said, and then we'll hop right into it. Okay, so you are going to need two paper plates. If you don't want to use paper plates, you could use cardboard. As a matter of fact, on the bottom of it, I'll show you later, I did use some cardboard. So grab a couple of paper plates. You don't want the real flimsy ones. It does help if they're a little sturdier, you know, maybe some with that coating on it. You are going to need some school glue. This is just some plain school glue that we have here at the studio that we use on the regular. And I am using some raw sienna paint. So you can mix your browns to get exactly what you want. That's what I went with, and you're going to see what I did with it later. I grabbed some cinnamon sticks from my pantry. Listen, you guys, these tip here, these are like $5.99, and I don't even know how many you get. Hang on. Not that many. They smell fabulous. It's like 7, okay? So you're paying like a little less than $1 for each cinnamon stick, and that's too much for me. But Bayada, it's in the ethnic section, and I actually saw them at Big Lots this afternoon for $7.99. You can get about 50 of them. So check that out. All right, you're also going to need some cinnamon for what I made. I just grabbed some cinnamon. You are going to need some lightweight spackle. It's really important that you get the lightweight spackle because I've tried this. I tried it with mud, mixing it up myself, drywall mud, sorry, 5-minute sand and finish. It gives kind of a gray look, and it's kind of a little mushy. I tried so many things, you guys. One thing that you could do if you did want to go with those, they are heavier, but if you did you had the powder drywall mud and you mixed it with water, you could also mix it with a little bit of white acrylic paint to really make it pop. I was going for totally white, and I really was just going as fast as I could. So this is Fast and Final, and that's my friend. So this is made by DAP. You can find this, I got the larger one, but you can find this at the Dollar Tree. And really, they come in the small, I don't know what they are, the little jars at the Dollar Tree. And one whole one of those makes one of our cups, okay? Next, you're going to need some ink. I'm choosing black ink. And then you're going to need a mug. I got these cool mugs at the Dollar Tree. If you have seen yours, grab them. They are just too cute. Good size, just perfect size. I am going to choose the pumpkin everything from the fall minis. Okay, I'm going to use my tacky towel, some scissors I used to cut it out. I've got a little squeegee I'm going to be working with. Then, how do we get that stuff on there? I have an old pastry bag because I've been a cake decorator for many years, and I cut the end pretty wide to fit this large cake tip. Okay, it is a 1M, 1 mic. It's a Wilton 1 mic. I've seen people use like a 2D, 2 Delta, but just use what works for you. They have at the Dollar Tree a plastic kit, and it's got like 4 tips. So that would be fine too. And then I'm just grabbing like a little spatula to work with, you know, just like, look at that thing is all beat up. I use it here at the studio, so it's got all kinds of junk on it. All right, so let's get started. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera down so you can see everything we're doing. All right, so I am going to start. Let me put this stuff aside. I'm going to start with my plate. I just need one. And I'm going to take my cup and turn it upside down on the plate. Oh, look, y'all, I didn't even take the sticker off. All right. If you guys do this, please share. I can't wait to see because I know this is going to be so popular. I really love it. All right, so I'm going to set my cup aside and I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. Just going to cut right on the line for my circle. And what you're going to see is, since I traced it, it's going to sit like right on top, right on the lip. You could even go a little bit bigger if you'd like, but I found that it works if you just cut it true to size. And you can see it fits right on top like that. And that's pretty much what we want. Okay? All right. So now I've got another plate, and I'm just going to grab some tape actually. This is going to help keep things in place. I also thought, it wouldn't hurt for me to draw a circle and then put some wax paper, and that could work too, instead of this circle. But I'm just going for the circle for right now, and then I'm going to make this into double-sided and stick this in place so I've got something to work with. Okay, next thing I'm going to do, let me put that aside. I'm going to get out my lightweight spackle. Okay, one of the things I didn't mention was it's great to have a mug, a glass, something like that around that's pretty sturdy for you to put your, let me see if we can see that, great. So that you can put your pastry bag in it. And then I just like to fold it over so I don't get the spackle on the edges because I really don't like that feel on my, I'm a texture person. Oh my goodness, y'all. I started doing that before. Let me get that out of there. Before I put my tip in there. I'm used to using a coupling tip, and that allows you to change tips in and out, but I'm not doing that this time. So let me just drop. So I'm just going to take it upside down and drop it right in there, okay? And then shake it, and it's going to come out the other end. And this is what I want to see. I want my bag cut far enough back. Typically what I'll do is, if it's a new bag, it'll come up, it'll look like this. It'll come into a point, and then I'll just snip off the edge, not a bunch, and then I'll push it through. And what I want to make sure is that these little notches are actually making it all the way through the cut part, but when I squish it down, that my bag doesn't want to back up all the way to the end, okay? Because then I'm going to lose my tip. All right, so let's put it back in there and try again. All right, you guys, I've been making cakes like artistry, like series cakes for probably about 35 years, and you just saw me mess up. Awesome! Because sometimes I just go for it. That's usually what I do anyway. Okay. All right, I'm going to take this and put it aside. And then just rolling up the edges so that I can keep all of that stuff inside and not on the edges so I don't have to touch it. That's key for me. All right, I'm going to move this. So let me just talk to you a little bit when you're decorating, if you've never decorated a cake. The pastry bag, the key to getting it down there is just squeezing it, making sure that you are using your hand, the grip here, and then pressing with your palm and your fingers, okay? And then what I did was, when I get it pressed down there, then I give it a twist, and I do not let go unless I need to twist down further, okay? But you want to grab it right here and then cinch it with your fingers, and you're going to press with your fingers and your palm, okay? All right, so here we go. Let's get this little guy back over here. This is our top. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start making stars. That's what they're called. And I'm going to go right on the very edge. I'm going to go all the way around. Now, you don't have to do them individually like this. You could do, more of like what we would call a shell. But this works great. So I'm going to stick with this. It's pretty simple. Everybody can do that. When you get running low, just squeeze it and turn it, okay? Okay, now I need to fill in this part. I'm not going to be super fancy about that. All I'm looking for is starting to build a foundation. The great thing about doing the stars versus doing a swirl is that you can add more. Like if you get to a place where you feel like it's not tall enough or you got some empty places, you just put more stars. Now I'm going to go right on the edge. So just right inside where I started and do it again. And I'm going to keep on moving till I come to the end and make sure I've got some stuff in the middle here. And I'm going to do it again. Okay, and I'm just going to keep on going until I get to where I want to be. And that looks great. That looks really great. Now, one thing I'm thinking is, look at, I think I need a little more here, but you see how that is? I could just come in here and see, oh, it's got some bald spots here. I don't really care for those. Okay. All right, now I think I'm happy. Now I'm having too much fun. Okay, now I think I'm pretty happy with it. Okay, so I'm going to take my lightweight spackling and set it aside. Now comes the fun part. We're going to grab our cinnamon. Now think about this. I'm going to do this again, you guys, but I'm going to do it for Christmas. And this is going to be super cool because I'm going to put like, I think instead of the cinnamon stick, I'm going to put like maybe a candy cane, maybe like a paper straw looks like a candy cane, or maybe I will even put a candy cane in there and, you know, maybe some red, what are those things called? Do you guys know? I don't know. Red dooley, I don't know what they're called. Some red things. I might put some red stuff on it. Sprinkles. There you go. Or some little, maybe I can find some snowmen. But hey, you know, one of the things I wanted to let you know that I did not let you know is you could take some of that spackle and put it in a cup. So if I had like, if this was a white cup and I wanted to do something for, let's say Valentine's Day, or maybe I wanted to do, oh, you know what? How about like the frozen look, right? So if I had a white cup, what if my whipped cream was blue and then I put some iridescent snowflakes or something like that, that would be super cool. So if you take the lightweight spackle and you put just a little bit of food coloring in, you're going to be golden. Okay. And if you're starting with the sand and finish or something else that starts as a powder, you're going to want to probably put a little bit of paint or maybe food coloring in that. Okay. So let me go down here. All right, so next what comes into play is our cinnamon. And I'm just going to sprinkle on there like as if this were, you know, a pumpkin spice latte or something. Okay, you can see I've got my cinnamon on here. I'm gonna put that away. And next I'm going to drizzle mine with caramel. So what I've done here, this is the reason for the glue and the paint, and it's about equal parts. Well, let me take that back. I would say maybe 3/4 glue and 1/4 of paint. All right, and then if it's not watery enough, you can add a smidge, but the best thing is to have it to where it's going to set up pretty well. So now I'm just going to take this spoon and I'm going to drizzle it across my yummy whipped cream. Okay, I'll put that aside for later, for the next one that I do. You guys, this is not expensive, and it's a lot of fun. Okay, so let's see what we've got. How cool. All right, so lastly, at least for this part of it, I'm going to grab my cinnamon stick and I'm going to find, where do I want my front to be? I'm going to think about where, okay, I'm going to have it, which side looks like more fun? All right, this will be. All right, so and then I'm going to put my cinnamon stick going this way. Okay, and then I'm just going to leave it like that. And you guys, what we're going to do is you're going to leave this in place for probably, I'm not into waiting very long. I'm super impatient. In fact, this one over here that I did, that I showed you, that was an example, I probably did about 5 hours ago. But it does set up quickly. But I will tell you this. in order to allow it to set up underneath as well, because this is several layers thick now, right? You're going to want to wait a whole day, probably even two. So if you were going to make these and like line up 10 or 20 or whatever you're going to do, just have a little bit of patience while it's drying. But hey, we have something else to do. It could be drying too. So I'm going to put this aside. And then I'm going to show you what's next. So I'm going to get my, let me move this all over here. I'm going to get my wonderful, this is such a beautiful color orange. All right, and I've got my black ink. And then, as I told you before, I do have my pumpkin everything. I have someone in my family who loves pumpkin everything, pumpkin beer, like pumpkin everything. So, and then I'm going to peel it back and I'm going to fuzz it. And I know I've told you guys this before, and you've probably heard it a gazillion times yourself, but ceramics are non-porous. Okay, that means that there's no breathing room, right? So we need to pick up some lint on the back of this stencil so that when we put it on the ceramic, we won't be tugging to get it off. You know, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle, but we want to, I mean, struggle, maybe not the right word. We're going to have to give it a little bit off, but we don't want to pull it so much that we stretch it and we mess with the integrity of the stencil. Okay, now I'm going to put it on its side. You know what I should have done? I should have told you guys this, and I didn't even bring it, but I watched somebody do cups before, and I was so impressed. She brought out a bag of rice, and she stuck it right here and made a little spot for the cup, and it just stayed there. It was awesome. Okay, so I didn't do that, so let me try to, there we go, I'll do that. All right, so I try to think of like, I'm right-handed, so I want my stencil right here. For those of you who are left-handed, put yours where you want. Oops. All right, so, wow, loud noise out there. Sorry, I'm at the studio, and sometimes these guys drive by here and just rev their engines. Makes you wonder, where are they going? What? Sounds like a bunch of fun. Okay. All right, so I'm going to just smooth this down. This is going to be cute. But remember, like I said, like you could put, you know, maybe you could put like a Starbucks gift card inside this, or maybe you would rather support a local coffee company or bakery. And you could put, you know, just think of all the things that you could do. All right, so now I decided to go black. I know there are, you know, 100 different ways you could go here. I decided to just do plain old black because it's going to pop on this orange. And it was simple. I like black. I like staying simple. I like mixing it up too, but I think that this is going to pop on this orange. Not going to play with it too much. So with ink, right, because it is permanent, you want to be careful that you're not pushing it or playing with it too much, that you're pushing it up underneath the stencil, because it's not as forgiving as the paste. I don't want to scare you. I definitely want to encourage you to use it. Just know that the way you play with ink is different than the way you play with paste. All right, let me set that aside. And I will take this off. Peel that back. Oh, great job. I'm telling myself. All right, so here is my pumpkin everything. All right, now what we're going to do, I'm going to show you the last little thing that I did, and we'll put it all together, okay? So the last little thing that I did with my cup was again, you guys, it's not very, like it's not very solid. It's a little squishy. I took and, you know, a lot of people, I watched people do this. I saw it on some, I can't remember, but I saw it on a YouTube thing and I'm like, this is genius. But then when I did it, I'm like, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me because it's moving around on the top, right? It doesn't sit still. So what I did is I cut out a piece of cardboard smaller, just smaller than the cup. And you know what I did? Actually, I used this as a template. And then I glued it to it. And another thought I had was, had I put that on wax paper and peeled the wax paper off when this whole thing was dry, I might have put another, like just inside, some dollops on the inside. But look, if I put it on there like this, with that, it doesn't move. It's not going anywhere. Okay? So that was my fix on how to get it the way I want it and not move anywhere. Okay, so I'm bringing this to you guys. Good luck with all your fantastic ideas. Please, please share. Christmas, I mean, Valentine's Day, well, any day, right? How about some of those like encouraging minis? That would be cool on here. Anything. All right, you guys have a terrific day. Bye bye.